Hello, I'm the Pirate Novelist, your captain through the rough seas of media, and it's been quite a while, and it's time for a few new videos. Hi everybody, I am back again. It's been a while. Life just threw me a little bit of a curveball, but I have a little bit of time to film some new videos here for you. This is one of a couple that I'm actually filming for today, but I will be releasing kind of staggeredly depending on time that I have to actually edit, which it's been nice to have this little mini vacation that I've had, which I will be talking about in my next video. But for this video, this is a response to Andy's Vinyl Den's 500 subscriber contest called See You in the Funny Papers. Just wanted to say, Andy, really like your channel. It's one of my favorites to just sit back and relax and watch. You have a unique view on music, and congratulations on 500 subscribers. So the contest is called See You in the Funny Papers, where we're supposed to talk about an interesting music-related story. As I was thinking through and going back in my head over a couple of stories that I wanted to talk about, there was one in particular that I thought would be really interesting to kind of bring up, and it is related to this particular picture that I have in my hand. For those who have seen my intro or follow me on my Instagram, you'll actually see this picture quite a bit pop up in my stereo setup. This is actually when I got to see Breaking Benjamin for the first time. But this was an interesting show to begin with. So I may just leave the picture somewhere in here, kind of in the middle or the background. But so this show actually happened in August of 2015 at a venue called the Norva. As of the recent couple of years, it's actually been voted the #1 venue in America by Rolling Stone, which I found kind of interesting. I've seen a couple of shows there. I've seen Alice in Chains there. I've seen 3 Days Grace and Pop Evil, and I saw Breaking Benjamin. What was interesting about this show was I actually won tickets via the local rock station to see the show. And for some reason, I have, really lucky genes. I've won quite a bit of concert tickets, and, just the idea that I could actually go and see this and have some time off to go see it was kind of interesting. It was, I believe it was a Thursday or Friday night, if I remember correctly. If I get it wrong, I'll just leave it here on the screen real quick with what day it was. But I worked, I think, a half day of work that day, and it wasn't that far of a drive from where I work, so all I had to do was just kind of get up on the highway, park, and I was good to go. And I took one of my friends with me to the show. And, I'd waited all day in line. I was basically first in line because this particular venue, the Norva, actually allows you to do, I believe, early entry if you go into the restaurant behind and eat there. I couldn't do that because my tickets were roll call, but it didn't distract me at all. I got in very quickly. Was pretty much front of the girder, as you can see from the picture, that I was pretty much up on the barrier the entire night, which was really interesting. If I remember correctly, I know Starset played with them, but I may need to look up the other bands because it's been 2 years. So I'm really surprised that I remembered at least Starset was there, because sometimes my memory with concerts is really good or really bad. But what was really fun about that was, I think the second time I saw Starset, if not the first time. They were very interesting. What's nice about the Norva is no matter where you're at, it's a very small venue. So there's a top balcony that you can kind of just stand on, and you can either be stage left or stage right. I was on stage left for Alice in Chains. I've been up on there for a couple of shows, and I've also been in the pit area, so I've really kind of come to know that venue. I haven't been in quite a while. I hope to eventually go back, but I really enjoyed it when I went there last time. This story is basically about a really strange incident that had happened. So, everything had gone pretty much okay, and up to that point, all the opening bands had pretty much played and had good sets, and then of course Breaking Benjamin comes on, and about halfway through the set, there was just that one knucklehead. And he basically was, if I remember correctly, this guy just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I think he was hitting a woman, which you should never, ever do. If you do, you deserve to be in jail. But what was interesting about that was Ben basically stopped mid-song and completely called that knucklehead out. And he spent a good, I would say, 5 minutes basically beating into this guy. I think the guy actually got kicked out, if I remember correctly, but he had said that there are people of all different ages, so, just be courteous to the person beside you. If it's a little rough, say, excuse me, this or that. So, he said it wasn't that hard or that tough. So, if I remember, he had said, okay, everybody who wants to be a knucklehead, go to the right, and everybody who wants to have fun and just have a good time, go to the left. Capisce? Everybody seemed to be on the same page that night. It was really interesting, and it grasped me with a whole bunch of unity. And later in the show, I'm going to pull this up again. It's not this exact moment, but later in the show, Ben had asked everybody to take out their cell phones, and they turned off the house lights. And the band was lit just by whichever lighter or cell phone was lit. And to me, that was just another breathtaking moment in this already amazing show. They did a cover of Polyamorous, which I never think I'd see Tool, but seeing as Tool is a heavy influence into Breaking Benjamin, it was almost like I was at a Tool show. So I hope to see Tool one day, which I know is kind of impossible with the way they tour. But for me, this was just an interesting evening, just beginning to end. And from opening bands to this band, there are very few shows where I say that it was amazing beginning to end. This was pretty close to that. And there was one other show, which I'm going to be talking about in my next video, that happened that I felt was just really interesting to kind of talk about. So that about wraps it up for me. This is actually going to be one of my shorter videos because even though this is an interesting story, there really wasn't that much to say other than, the incident that happened with the knucklehead and the idea of the light shining and us being together in unity for that show was really kind of interesting. I think there's an actual video of the incident. If I do find it, I will give credit to the person who took it, and I'm actually going to put it in the link in the description below. Andy, once again, congratulations on your 500 subscribers. This was a really interesting contest idea, and when I was thinking back to the couple of stories that I wanted to tell, this one was one that was in the back of my head just because of the two incidents that had happened. The one, of course, where the entire show was stopped and they called Knucklehead out, which has never happened before. You've had knuckleheads here and there. Like, I remember when I saw Pearl Jam, when they were playing Lightning Bolt way deep into the show, they called the guy out, kicked him out, and then just basically said that they had 5 shows in a row where there was no knucklehead, and the show I was at, which was Hampton, Virginia in April of 2016, they had played 5 shows previous with that one knucklehead and got him like that. And I just think back to that first time with Breaking Benjamin where there was, of course, it's bad when someone's a knucklehead. I get that, but I just found it kind of interesting that was my first time that a show had stopped like that. So yeah, that's my story, and I hope you enjoyed it. So that about wraps it up for this video. I have a couple of more coming here shortly, and I do mean shortly this time. Thank you so very much for watching. Andy, this was a very interesting idea for a video. I have plenty of stories that I can tell, but This was really just the one that I thought would kind of fit the mold for what you thought for the contest. Any of you who watch my channel do not subscribe to Andy's Vinyl Den, you really should. I'm going to leave a link below in the description for his channel. And if you want to tell me your story, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Or even if it's past the contest time, I know today is the last day for that contest. I really think you should just talk about it and let Andy know your thoughts on that. I think it would be just kind of a cool idea to pass around. For those who continue to watch my channel, thank you so very, very much. I'm so thankful for all my subscribers. Again, I'm really sorry that I didn't get to post for about a month, but I was really busy. I have some things coming up, but I will definitely be filming quite a bit today so I can stagger those videos out so you guys can get some content up on here. So until the next time, as I always say, when the waters get rough, keep on sailing.